Right now, somewhere in the Amazon basin, a Pirahã man is standing at the edge of a river. He is watching the water. Not thinking about tomorrow. Not planning for next week. Not worried about what happens when the dry season comes. He is just watching the water. The Pirahã have lived in the Brazilian rainforest for thousands of years. There are fewer than 400 of them left. And for most of human history, nobody outside their forest paid much attention to them. Then a linguist named Daniel Everett arrived in 1977 to convert them to Christianity. He stayed for decades. He never converted a single one of them. But what they did to him was far more interesting. They dismantled everything he thought he knew about the human mind. The Pirahã language has no words for numbers. Not 1, not 2, not 10. Just a word that means roughly a small amount and another that means a larger amount. They have no word for left or right. No word for color as a category. And most strangely, most disturbingly, they have no word for tomorrow. No word for yesterday either. Their entire language exists only in the present tense. The past is gone. The future hasn't happened. The Pirahã live in a perpetual, unbroken now. Everett published his findings in the journal Current Anthropology in 2005. The response from the academic world was not polite curiosity. It was fury. Because what Everett was describing shouldn't be possible. In 1960, linguist Noam Chomsky proposed one of the most influential ideas in the history of cognitive science. He called it universal grammar. The theory was this: beneath the surface differences between languages, all human languages share the same deep structural architecture. Every language has tense. Every language has recursion, the ability to nest one idea inside another. Every language reflects the same underlying cognitive hardware that all humans are born with. It wasn't just a theory about language. It was a theory about the human mind, about what we all share underneath. The Pirahã broke it. Their language has no tense, no recursion, no embedded clauses. Everett sat with Chomsky's framework and the Pirahã language side by side for years. He couldn't make them fit. So he concluded the unthinkable. Universal grammar is wrong. Or at least, it's not universal. The linguistics community split in half. Some called Everett a fraud. Others called him the most important linguist of his generation. The debate is still not settled. But here's what nobody argues about. The Pirahã exist. Their language exists. And the way they experience time is genuinely different from the way you do. Think about what your day actually looks like. You woke up this morning already carrying yesterday. The argument you didn't finish. The task you didn't complete. The message you still haven't answered. And you woke up already leaning into tomorrow. The meeting you're dreading. The bill coming due. The version of your life you're working toward or running away from. Most of your mental life does not take place in the present moment at all. It takes place in a reconstructed past and an imagined future. Psychologists at Harvard ran a study in 2010 using a smartphone app that pinged participants at random moments throughout the day and asked 2 questions. What are you doing right now? And is your mind on what you're doing? The results were stark. People's minds were wandering 47% of the time. Nearly half of every waking hour, the human brain is somewhere other than where the body is. And the researchers found something else. A wandering mind is an unhappy mind. It didn't matter what people were doing. What mattered was whether they were actually there while doing it. The Pirahã are always there. Everett described watching them sleep. When a Pirahã person wakes in the night, they don't lie there. They get up, talk, laugh, eat if there's food, then sleep again when they're tired. They don't protect their sleep the way we do. They don't worry about being tired tomorrow because tomorrow isn't a concept they're carrying. When they're awake, they're awake. When they're asleep, they're asleep. There is no management. No optimization. Just direct response to whatever is actually happening. They don't store food either. This one baffles researchers. The Amazon provides enough. When there is food, they eat. When there isn't, they wait. They have survived this way for thousands of years. Every behavioral economist in the world would tell you this is irrational. Delayed gratification is the cornerstone of civilized planning. Marshmallow tests. Retirement accounts. 5U plans. Our entire economic system is built on the assumption that sacrificing the present for a better future is the definition of intelligence. The Pirahã have no interest in it. And they're not suffering. That's the part that's hard to sit with. Everett, who spent more time with them than any outsider ever has, said they are the happiest people he has ever encountered. Not happy in spite of their limitations. Happy in a way that made him question whether what he was calling limitations were limitations at all. But here's where it gets complicated. Because neuroscience has a fairly clear answer for why the rest of us live the way we do. The human brain has a region called the default mode network. It activates when you're not focused on a task. When your mind drifts. And what does it do when it drifts? It goes to the past and the future. It simulates, it rehearses, it replays. This is not a malfunction. It is one of the most sophisticated things a brain can do. Mental time travel, the ability to project yourself into the past and future, is the cognitive foundation of almost everything that makes us human. Planning crops. Building shelters before winter. Teaching children not just what to do today, but what to avoid next year. Every civilization ever built was constructed on the ability to imagine a tomorrow and work backward from it. The Pirahã don't do this. And the question that should make you uncomfortable is whether that's wisdom or whether it's a ceiling. Because they are also, genuinely, stuck. Their population has hovered near 400 for as long as records exist. They have no written history. No accumulated technology. No way to pass knowledge across generations except through direct demonstration. Everything Everett tried to teach them about reading and writing they forgot by the following morning. Not because they were incapable, because they had no framework that made future-oriented learning feel relevant. Why learn to read if the future isn't real? So there are two things that are both completely true at the same time. The Pirahã are measurably happier, calmer, and less chronically stressed than virtually any group of modern humans ever studied. And the Pirahã are also precisely as powerful as they were 10,000 years ago. We traded their kind of presence for our kind of progress, and we made that trade so long ago, and so completely, that most of us have forgotten we made it at all. We just wake up every morning already somewhere else, already yesterday and tomorrow at the same time, and we call it being awake. Everett eventually lost his faith. Not because the Pirahã argued him out of it. They never engaged with his religion at all. They just kept asking him a question he couldn't answer. Have you seen this God? Has anyone you know seen him? Is he here, now, in this moment, in this forest? When Everett said no, they smiled politely and went back to what they were doing. They were not trying to challenge him. They were genuinely confused. Why would anyone believe in something that wasn't present? Why would you organize your life around something you couldn't directly experience right now? They weren't being philosophical. That was just Tuesday. There's no clean ending here, which is appropriate. The Pirahã don't do endings either. No resolution, no moral, no arc that bends toward meaning. Just the river, the forest, the fire at night, the food when it comes, and the people who are here right now in front of you.